In the dim light of his cell, Alex sat engulfed in a forbidding silence, an oppressive blanket that seemed to press down on him, stifling his thoughts. With each calculated tick of the clock, he immersed himself in reflections of a life once vibrant, filled with a thriving career and the radiant laughter of his daughter. Those echoes of joy felt distant, tainted by the cold, hard reality of his current existence. As he navigated the monotony of his daily routine, the prison's muted symphony heightened his sense of isolation, casting emotional barriers that felt insurmountable. Yet even in this grim space, he clung to fragile threads of hope, praying and daydreaming of a time when the sun might break through the darkness. Each tick of the clock served as a relentless reminder that time was slipping away, urging him to confront the man he had become in these unforgiving walls. With a mixture of apprehension and curiosity, Alex observed the newcomer in the yard, a young artist lost in the flow of his sketches. Each stroke of the pencil brought to life intricate details that contrasted beautifully with the grim surroundings. As Alex watched, he felt an awakening of emotions long buried beneath his despair. The artist's work was a poignant reminder that even in this desolate place, fragments of beauty could be found. Inspired, Alex contemplated how creativity might serve as a bridge from his confinement to a world filled with possibility. The scenes reimagined on paper seemed to whisper to him, igniting hope within the confines of his heart. It was as if the drawings were calling him to explore those glimmers of light amidst the darkness of his reality. Watching the artist create, Alex realized that these moments could be the key to rediscovering himself. As Alex's thoughts lingered on the artist's budding creations, a vivid scene surged to the forefront of his mind, a cherished memory of playing in the park with his daughter, laughter ringing through the air like sweet music. He could almost feel her small hand in his, warmth radiating from their shared joy. Yet as the memory deepened, so did the weight of his absence. Remorse washed over him, a suffocating wave that threatened to drown his fleeting joy. How could he reconcile the man he had become with the father she deserved? The echoes of her laughter transformed his yearning into a painful reminder of his choices, igniting an ache in his heart. In this reflective moment, Alex grappled with the bittersweet understanding that his connection with her was both a lifeline and a source of profound regret, compelling him to seek redemption. As the clock's relentless ticking faded, Alex sensed a shift within him. Driven by a yearning to connect beyond the confines of his cell, he embarked on a quest that led him to an underground book club. The atmosphere buzzed with a mix of awkward introductions and cautious excitement as inmates gathered to share their thoughts. Each voice added texture to the sparse surroundings, creating a tapestry woven from shared experiences and aspirations. Alex's heart raced as he listened, feeling an unfamiliar spark of belonging ignite within him. Discussions of literature became a lifeline, illuminating the path to reclaim lost parts of himself. As the conversation flowed, he discovered that words could merge their fragmented lives into something hopeful. In this unlikely sanctuary, he began to envision a future where connection blossomed, propelling him forward from the darkness that had enveloped him for so long. In the wake of their spirited discussions, Alex felt a profound stir within himself, as if the pages of forgotten dreams had been flipped open. Inspired by the stories shared, he picked up a pencil, determined to capture his own reflections on the world he'd left behind. Each line he drew became an exploration of themes he'd never dared confront: freedom, loss, and the fleeting nature of hope. The act of sketching transformed his cell into a space of possibility, where ideas blossomed, transcending the cold, gray walls around him. As his musings flowed onto paper, he felt a burgeoning sense of purpose, a desire to reclaim the identity lost amidst his confinement. Alex understood that within these creative expressions lay the potential to rebuild himself, forging a path toward healing that extended far beyond the confines of his reality. As Alex contemplated the countdown to his release, a swell of conflicting emotions rose within him. The thought of reuniting with his daughter filled him with a tentative optimism, yet an undercurrent of anxiety tangled in his gut. He envisioned their first embrace, the warmth of her smile igniting hope, but dark anxieties clawed at him, wondering if he remained the father she once adored. Flashes of potential futures streamed through his mind, some painted with joy and laughter, others shadowed by uncertainty and the fear of repeating past mistakes. Each scenario felt like a fragile thread, easily frayed by the weight of his experiences. As the days dwindled, Alex knew he had to reconcile the man he had become with the father he hoped to be, forging a path towards healing and connection that transcended the confines of his experience. The time for transformation was now. The unsettling encounter with his former rival loomed heavily in Alex's thoughts, a stark reminder of the violence that perpetually circled within these walls. Facing the man who once symbolized his deepest fears, Alex was propelled into a whirlwind of reflection. Memories of anger and aggression surged forth, intermingling with the regret that had become his closest companion. In that charged moment, he realized that the cycle of hostility mirrored the turmoil within him, a manifestation of deeper struggles that needed confrontation. Clenching his fists, Alex felt the weight of his choices pressing down, demanding acknowledgement. This was not merely a battle with another inmate. It was a pivotal moment of choosing peace over vengeance, clarity over chaos. Grasping the significance of this, Alex understood he had the power to redefine his narrative, transforming anger into a catalyst for change and growth. With each tick marking the passage of time, Alex's journey deepened, revealing layers of introspection previously buried. He envisioned a future where his dreams of becoming a writer took flight, each word a step toward reconnecting with his humanity. Inspired by newfound friendships within the walls, the emotional barriers began to dissolve, leaving room for understanding and acceptance. A crucial letter from his daughter shattered the silence, igniting a fervent desire to respond with authenticity and vulnerability. As he gathered his thoughts, trepidation mingled with hope, compelling him to share his truth. In the final book club meeting, Alex laid bare his writings, embracing the cathartic release as the inmates' varied responses washed over him. Each interaction further fueled his transformation, enabling him to reflect on the lessons learned. As the anticipation of release approached, Alex recognized that his journey toward redemption and connection was just beginning. Hope flourished anew. As the weight of his choices pressed heavily upon him, Alex faced a pivotal moment that would redefine his journey. An ultimatum rattled his perception of trust, presenting a fork in the road, one path leading to reconciliation and the other to deepening isolation. The gravity of this decision loomed larger than any confrontation he had faced before, reflecting his longing to reconnect with the fragments of his past while battling the fear of rejection. Memories of his daughter and the love they once shared echoed within him, fueling his resolve to take a step forward. The stakes were high, and the choice bore the potential to either mend the frayed bonds of affection or entrench him deeper into solitude. In that critical instant, Alex understood that the path to healing lay not just in his desires, but in the actions he chose to embrace. He had to seize the moment to pave a new beginning. A letter arrived from his daughter, the envelope bearing the faint smell of crayons and paper that transported Alex back to joyful moments they once shared. As he tore it open, emotions swelled within him, hope mingling with fear, joy shadowed by the weight of history. Her words danced across the page, bright and full of innocence, rekindling a longing to connect despite the chasm of time and the prison walls between them. Meticulously, he considered his response, thoughts swirling between aspirations for their future and the trepidation of potential disappointment. Each carefully chosen word was a step toward rebuilding the bridge that had been lost. As Alex penned his reply, clarity emerged from the chaos in his heart, illuminating a profound truth. This could be his chance to embrace vulnerability and rekindle the father-daughter bond that had once defined him. Alex stood before his fellow inmates in the dimly lit room, the atmosphere thick with a mixture of anticipation and tension. It was the final book club meeting, and he felt the weight of 1,000 unsaid words pressing on his chest. As he shared his writings, the varied reactions from his peers washed over him, a blend of inspiration, skepticism, and curiosity. Each response reflected not just their perceptions, but a growing camaraderie that had begun to bridge the divide of confinement. In this moment, Alex experienced a release, as if the act of unveiling his thoughts had lifted the oppressive weight of solitude from his shoulders. He was not merely a prisoner anymore. He was a voice among voices, weaving connections through shared narratives. With each word exchanged, a spark ignited within him, one that fueled his desire to continue seeking belonging beyond these walls. There was hope beyond the horizon. As the echoes of applause faded, Alex felt a surge of exhilaration ripple through him. He stood at the precipice of release, a moment he had once longed for, yet now approached with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. The lessons learned during his time in confinement weighed heavily on his heart, intertwining regret with fragile optimism. Time was no longer an enemy. It had become a teacher, guiding him through the complexities of his inner struggles. Reflecting on the journey ahead, he acknowledged that true freedom extended beyond the prison gates. It lay in his ability to confront the past, embrace the present, and hope for a brighter future. With resolve, Alex prepared to embrace the world outside, ready to forge new connections and seek redemption. It was time to step into the light, allowing his journey towards self-discovery to truly begin.